Hey guys, it's Vornskyr here, and today we're in Elite Dangerous and we're checking out the beta version of update 1.5, which is of course the ships update. So this update adds 5 new ships to the game, those being the Asp Scout, the Viper MKIV, the Federal Corvette, the Imperial Cutter, and the Keelback. There are also some other additions and fixes and stuff. Some of those being there's new missions, including multi-stage missions and some missions that can be picked up in space. We should be able to see, I think there's one of the new missions here on this bulletin board actually, I believe. The bulletin board is taking absolutely forever to load. I'm not sure if that's my internet or the game servers or a combination of both. But there we go. So there was one here that I saw. So this is part of it. You see how things say mission specific there? I'm not exactly sure how they mean, how that applies to the mission. If it means that you have to steal them from only the water purifiers from this specific target or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so that's part of the new mission stuff. Let's see if I can find this other one. There we go. So this endurance one here. So basically this sort of mission is you pick up a item and then you have to hold on to that item for a certain amount of time, and presumably, as you can tell by the flavor text here, presumably other AI targets will be trying to kill you and take this item from you. So these are, there's just different sort of missions like that. There's also different scenarios for the USSs and that sort of thing. I don't really know much about them, but there are different sort of things to check out. And I guess that includes, that's how you'll pick up some of the missions in space, by picking up an item from a USS or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What else? The Imperial Fighter has now been added to CQC, if you're interested in that. And then there's some minor little fixes that I saw and found interesting. Well, the first of which is the Imperial Clipper now has the correct seat. It has that white Imperial Clipper seat that it always had in the concept art and everything, instead of the, this sort of pilot seat here that you can see that every ship has. So it should actually, I haven't checked it out yet, but it should have a nice fancy seat. And then two kind of important things for ship balancing is shield cells look like they've been nerfed. I haven't tested them yet, but from what I read a little while back, I think in one of the developer updates, basically the amount of heat generated when you use a shield cell has been increased, and I believe there's also an increased delay for it to fire, and there may also be a delay with other things as well. I'm not quite sure yet. As I said, I haven't tested that. The description of it in the patch notes is very vague. It just says it's been rebalanced. So, but yeah, I believe that that's what's happened. So more heat and an increased delay, and as well as that, the hull reinforcement modules have actually been buffed a little bit. So who knows, maybe even armor tanking might become viable in this game, and I'll probably test it out sooner or later. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff. As always, the patch notes will be linked in the video description, but let's actually check out some of these ships. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to break this up into 2 videos. So the first one, I'll check out the Cutter and the Corvette. Those are the 2 biggest, fanciest ships that have been added. And then in the second video, we'll do the Keelback, the Viper MKIV, and the Asp Explorer. Let's have a really quick look at them now, just so you get kind of an overview of it. So there's the Explorer there. Think of it, or wait, was it the Explorer or the other one? Asp Scout. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's the Scout, not the Explorer. Sorry, I'm getting my names all mixed up. Anyway, so this is the new Asp. It's basically a slightly downgraded Asp Explorer, so it's got less weaponry. Apparently it will be able to maintain a roughly similar jump range as I said, I haven't tested this yet, and apparently it's a bit more maneuverable, so that's pretty cool. And we've got the Keelback here. This is based on the Type 6, but it's designed to be able to do a bit of combat as well as trading. This may turn out to be a decent multi-purpose sort of ship. It's got 2 small hardpoints and 2 mediums, which seems to be kind of the fairly standard weapons loadout. That of course means that it'll be able to do the 2 lasers, 2 multi-cannons loadout that everybody enjoys so much. So that's the Keelback. Where's the other one? Viper MKIV. This is basically a beefed up Viper. So it doesn't have the same speed and maneuverability, but it's got heavier armor, and it can take more hits. I think the weapons loadout is the same, but I think it can have a bigger reactor, so you've got a bit more versatility in terms of loadouts and everything. But yeah, so those are the other 3 ships. But let's have a look at the Corvette and the Cutter to start with. So the Corvette, it's pretty massive. You can see it costs 18 million credits. Should actually can't afford that. I'm going to need to quickly go and sell my Type 9. Anyway, you guys don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so you can see it's got 18.7 million credits for the price just in the beta, so it's going to be very expensive in the main game. It's going to be more expensive than the Anaconda. but the hard points, 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 1 large, and then 2 huge. So that's going to be pretty interesting to play around with. And then plenty of internal compartments as well. And the cutter is slightly different. So this one has 4 mediums, 2 large, and 1 huge. So you don't have the small weapons, but I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how this all kind of plays out. And then of course more internal compartments. This one I think actually has some bigger internal compartments. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, and so this one is nearly 21 million credits just in the beta, so again, expensive. And of course I've got no idea what the rank requirements are going to be for these or anything like that just yet, but I would expect it to be pretty high. So yeah, so I'm going to go and find where my Type 9 is, and I'm going to sell that, which I should be able to find somehow by going up here. There we go. Oh, it's 142 light years away. Alright, I'm going to go and sell this, and then I'll come back and we'll actually check this stuff out. Okay, so after having flown to where my Type 9 was stored, I discovered a rather nasty bug that's been going on in the beta, and this is something that a bunch of other people have discovered as well. When you have a ship stored, or at least, I guess if the ship was stored during the snapshot, or even I think if you store it during the beta, but once it's been stored you can't access it. It is still there. You can see that it's still showing up at this station, which is where I was at. But when you're on the stored ships tab, it looks like this. There's nothing there. So basically I've got over 90 million credits tied up in my Type 9 and I can't access any of it. Hopefully this bug will be fixed soon. But until it is, I actually don't have the credits to purchase a cutter or a corvette. So like I said, hopefully they'll fix this pretty quickly. I'll be able to go and sell the Type 9 so that I can have these credits. But yeah, right now I can't actually test these 2 ships. I can still do the Viper Mark IV, the Asp Scout, and the Keelback though. So that's what we're going to be doing basically. So let's start off with the Viper Mark IV. I don't know what that noise is in the background, but it's really annoying. So anyway, let's just buy this. And so we'll load this out. Obviously I'll go for a combat loadout, and now I couldn't connect to the matchmaking server. Wonderful. Don't you love betas? They're so wonderful, wonderful things, and I don't ever get salty or annoyed at all because I love betas so much. Alright, looks like something's up with the servers. We'll see if this comes back. But yeah, I'm not having a very good run at the moment, am I? Alright, we're back in. Let's buy this Viper Mark IV. And I'd imagine that this, the cockpit and everything will basically look the same as the Viper. It has been a fair while since I've flown a Viper, but I wouldn't expect that to be too much different. I think there'll be some cosmetic differences and everything on the outside of the ship, but it seems fairly standard looking around the cockpit. Alright, well, so I will load this out in a combat sort of loadout, and one thing that's really good about this system, which you can't actually see at the moment, there's a bunch of combat zones, high intensity and low intensity, just in this system alone, so we won't have to go looking for a fight or anything. We should be able to find one pretty quickly. But yeah, so I will outfit this, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so after a couple of server disconnects later, we've got this Viper Mark IV loaded up, so we'll just quickly run through the outfitting. I've gone for just the standard combat loadout really, at least for me. 2 gimbaled medium multi-cannons, 2 gimbaled small beam lasers, 1 shaft launcher, 1 basic kill warrant scanner. As you can see with my stats, I'm still within the amount of power that I've got, so I could play around with this a little bit more, you know, take better advantage of all the power plant options and that sort of thing. But anyway, internal components: A4 power plant, A4 thrusters, D4 frame shift, D2 life support, and then A3 sensors and power distributor. So, you know, fairly standard for a combat loadout really. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And then I've gone with a A4 shield cell bank as well. I figure that'll be a decent opportunity to have a look at, you know, how those are now, if they've been nerfed too much or whatever, I don't know. Also gone with an A4 shield generator and just a size 3 hull reinforcement package, just for a little bit more survivability, I guess. And then I left everything else empty because there's really no point filling it up for what I'm planning on doing. So yeah, it seems like it's fairly reasonable, even as a dedicated combat loadout. It's got a reasonable jump range, and it's not fantastic, but it'll get you from one system to another if you really need to, and of course you can just play around with it as you need to for whatever you're doing. But yeah, it seems pretty good. So let's take it to one of these combat zones, and we'll see what it can do. And one thing I also discovered while I was doing this, there's a couple of new parts here. We've got the planetary approach suite. That's obviously going to be used in Horizons, and you can't do anything with it right now. No inventory available at the station. You've also got a whole bunch of new dashboard things. But this is because, I think I forgot to mention, the bobbleheads are now available in Update 1.5. Now, I don't have any of them. I didn't bother buying any of them or anything like that. But if you did buy bobbleheads, I guess you'll be able to choose where you want to put them on the dash. So that's pretty cool. You got 10 different options of where to put them. Or maybe you could even have 10 going all at the same time. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, let's head out to one of these combat zones. And I'm interested in seeing how this flies as well. And of course we will take a look at the exterior of the ship too. I might actually do that inside the station, so that we've got a bit of lighting. As long as there's not too many people flying around. Looks like there's a few. I might just loiter above the pad a little bit.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
There we go. Let's go over here. Cool. All right. Let's go. There we go. So yeah, it does look a fair bit like a regular Viper, a little bit beefed up. You can see it's got that kind of spoiler sort of thing going on over the rear engines. So can I put up my landing gear while I'm in this? No, I can't. Alright, so I've still got my landing gear deployed, but whatever. It's a pretty cool looking ship. Actually, I like the black and the yellow kind of paint scheme that it's got going as well. That's pretty nice. Is that a door at the back? I don't know. Looks like it. Got some ladders coming down from it as well. Alright, well, so that's what it looks like from the outside. Let's get out of here before I get fined or whatever.
Landing gear retracted.
And we'll see how it flies as well. It's still fairly fast. I know it says that it's slower than the regular Viper, but it still seems to have a decent speed. Let's go full power to the engines. 290... 293, is it going to keep going up? No, 293 meters per second. Pretty good. Hit the booster. Sounds pretty cool. It boosts up to almost 370. Let's listen to that again. Alright, that's pretty cool. I like that. So once we get out of the no-fire zone, we'll just test our firing pattern. Should be pretty standard. Yep. That will be plenty usable. Alright, let's go down to, let's make it this high intensity one, not too far away. Alright, so I'll fly over there and we'll do some pew pew. And a couple of things that I forgot to show as well. We do now have ranking indicators, like progress bars to the next rank, so you can see I'm 0% of the way to the next rank after Petty Officer, and 0% after Baron. And it looks like to the left of that, I guess that's also progression bars for just your like your relationship with the faction. I don't know why it says 1% though. It may be a little bit not working, I'm not sure. There's also what you can do over here is you got filters. You can filter what you see in the galaxy, or not galaxy map, but in the in this kind of display here. So you can set a filter so you don't want to see any local bodies, or you don't want to see asteroid clusters. This will be a really useful one for explorers. Just being able to filter out all asteroid clusters. I'm assuming it will do that whether they've been scanned or not. That may be a bad assumption on my part. Anyway, it's pretty cool. So if you never want to see a signal source, you just uncheck it and you'll never see them. And then you just reset the filters and you get everything back. It's a nice little system. It's just a bit of usability, and that's a really cool thing. So yeah, so we're almost here now. And I'm going to overshoot this because I wasn't at all looking where I was going. Okay, so we got the Federal Navy fighting somebody. I don't really care who. Let's pick a faction. Oh, maybe I should care. It doesn't really matter actually. Let's just go. Who will we fight for? We'll fight for the future of LHS, whatever. Alright. So let's go full power to the weapons. We got an Asp Explorer up here. Seems like as good a target as any. Get a bit closer and take his shields down. Okay, it's been a while since I've done any combat in this game actually.
Target shields offline.
So it can fire for a fair while with the beam lasers. The power distributor and everything doing pretty well there. Let's charge it up fairly quickly as well, which is nice. I haven't bothered targeting subcomponents on this guy. Might have been a good idea to, even if I didn't take out his power plant, might have been a good idea to try and take out something else. And these are only size 1 lasers, so they're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage. Most of my damage is actually going to come from the multi-cannons. But he's down. So it doesn't look like... Is he down? Yeah, he's down now. Doesn't look like we've had anything shooting at me yet. There we go, got a Python down here. Let's just use chaff, of course. Okay, so I'm taking some hits now. Let's see how these shields go. Well, I took a few hits, but nothing serious. Multi-cannons are spending a fair bit of time reloading. So I'm not having to worry about heat at all really either. I mean, when I'm going nuts with the beam lasers, it does heat up a little bit, but it's definitely controllable, which is nice. And of course, no worries with heat or anything like that. He should be dead now. There he goes. Okay, what do we got? A Viper. Probably a bit of a better target for this ship. Although he is pretty low on health, but we'll give it a shot. Let's boost in after this guy. So he'll be able to outrun us, but we'll be able to outlast him basically. Can't really keep up with his maneuvering with full pips to the weapons. There we go. Give him a bit of the old multi-cannon. Nope, it's reloading. I really wish you could just press a button and reload the multi-cannons. Make life so much easier. Away he goes. Multi-cannons are back up, so let's just get target on him. Alright, so he's going down pretty well now. Well, that was nice and easy. I mean, he wasn't really fighting me. Got a vulture down there, that might be a good target. Yeah, he wasn't really going after me, which did help. Alright, so this guy's on mostly full health. Still got some shields left, but more or less full health, so this will be a decent little challenge. Because this is the thing with combat zones, is that unlike bounty hunting or whatever, where it's often just kind of you and maybe a couple of system security ships against the target, and he's just used chaff. But you know, they don't as often focus on you as much in a combat zone, because there's so many other ships, like so many other targets around for them to shoot at. Is it just me, or are these multi-cannons running out of ammo a lot faster than they used to? I know that the ammo for them, I think, was tweaked in one of the recent updates. It's been so long since I've actually been able to do any combat because of my exploring trip and everything. They seem to be running out of ammo a lot faster. Let's just get close and see if we can hit him a bit. I could just untarget him when he uses chaff, but I'm far too lazy to do that. He's only on 12% anyway. Yeah, look how long it takes the small beam lasers to do any damage.
Under attack.
Oh, he's on 2%. Alright, so my shields are going pretty well. I took a few hits there, but it didn't really do much of anything, if I'm honest. Use chaff again. So once I take a bit more shield damage, I'll actually use one of these shield cell banks as well. Oh, there we go, he's down. Let's try and find something a bit bigger. Federal dropship? That's sort of big, I guess. Anything else? Well, that's a Viper Mark IV there. Let's see what it takes to kill one of these guys. No, his shields are already down and he is taking damage. Is this actually a high intensity zone? Yeah, it is. Doesn't seem that intense. I might live to regret those words. But of course it's only beta, so it doesn't matter if I die. So his hull's taking a bit of a beating. It's a bit more power to the engines so that I can keep up with his maneuvers. I'm running out of weapons power now though. So yeah, it seems like a fairly manoeuvrable little ship. I think personally I'd probably take this over a regular Viper. It's just, you've got that more power and everything. You don't have to worry about your loadout as much. Makes life easier. Still has fairly good maneuverability, speed and everything like that. Seems like a fairly good little ship. As always, price will be kind of the deciding factor if you use one of these ships. Depending on where it falls, you know, compared to other ships, you might choose to use a Cobra over this, for example. I think the Cobra would be cheaper to at least to purchase. It may cost a little bit more to load out though. I don't know. This guy's actually taking a while to go down. And this is because I'm burning all my weapons power, all my weapons capacitor on the beam lasers. And because of where I have the multi-cannons set, I think they're actually below the cockpit. Which means a little bit more difficult to use sometimes, I suppose. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so once we kill this guy, I'll figure out a way to lose a bunch of shield strength. Why did you just fly right in front of me? I'll figure out a way to lose my shields, and then I will use a shield cell bank so that we can test that out. This guy doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. He must have taken a fair bit of subsystem damage. That or the AI is still a little bit broken.
Target destroyed.
Alright, he's finally dead. Let's I'm just gonna ram into a ship and lose a bunch of shields. So I've got to find something big to run into. Federal assault ship, that'll do. I'll go run into this guy, and yeah, we'll see how much heat the shield cell generates and everything. Not that I have a baseline to compare it to or anything, but still. Alright, that's a good bit of shield damage. So I'll pop the shield cell bank, there we go, press the button. Oh wow! Holy shit! Up to 140% heat. Damn. So it dropped down before it did much. I took a look at my subsystems though. They've taken a fair bit of damage. So that's an A4 shield cell booster. Or shield cell bank. Let's do that again. There goes another one.
Warning, taking heat damage.
So I could probably just kill myself by doing this. So can I hit another one? What's the delay before I can hit another one? There we go. Okay, so you're going to have to be really careful how you use these. Yeah, if you popped one of those when you were already at really high heat, you might find yourself in a whole lot of trouble. See, my subsystems, shaft launch is down to 77. The rest of it's not too bad, it's all survivable, but still, let's turn the cover head off. Still, that's a lot of heat. So, we might find the whole shield cell meter being changed up a huge amount after this update. Alright, well, so anyway, Viper Mark IV, I think it's a pretty cool ship. It's, yeah, it handled the combat really well. Didn't get into too much trouble. I didn't have that many people shooting at me or anything like that, but, you know, when I was under attack, the shields held pretty well. And of course, you could add a shield booster or whatever to that as well, rather than having the chaff launcher and kill warrant scanner. But yeah, it seems like a pretty reasonable little combat ship. So let's head back, and I think next time I think we're going to go for the... Let's go for the Keelback. So I'll head back and I'll jump into one of those. Okay, so the Keelback, here we go. Costs in the beta, costs 312,000 credits. It has 2 small hardpoints, 2 medium hardpoints. I think I've already covered that previously. 2 size 2 internals, 2 size 3s, and 2 size 5s. It's not going to be able to carry a huge amount of cargo, especially not when it's configured as a combat ship, but let's buy it and we'll see how it goes. I'm imagining the cockpit will probably look a lot like the Type 6 cockpit, given that it's based on that platform. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been in a Type 6, but this does look like the kind of standard Lakon cockpit Type 6 sort of thing. Alright, that's fine though. So let's try to go with a sort of trading / combat loadout in this ship. Now generally you probably wouldn't do that. You know, from my experience in the game, you tend to either go full on trading or full on combat. You don't really go for the middle ground, or at least I don't. But let's see what we can do. So I will load this out and yeah, see what happens. Okay, so we've got this loaded up. I've gone for something a bit different. This time probably a little bit of a sillier sort of loadout. So we've gone for 2 gimbaled size 1 or small beam lasers, 2 medium plasma accelerators, a chaff launcher and a kill scanner. Nothing in this one because I'm already running right on the limit of my power use thanks to the plasma accelerators. So internals, we've gone for an A4 reactor, A4 thruster, A4 frameshift drive, and have a look at the jump range on this. 18.23 light years fully laden, or 20, or say 22 unladen. Admittedly, it's not a lot of cargo, 54 tons of cargo, but still, that's a good jump range for a cargo ship, especially if you're doing some rares trading or something. And you could obviously you get that a lot better, you know, either more cargo or whatever, by using a smaller shield generator. Because we're doing a combat loadout, I've gone for a full A5 shield generator, but that's probably overkill for most uses. So yeah, D1 life support, just who cares about life support. A3 power distributor. Only the sensors only go up to 2, size 2 is a maximum. I'm not sure if that'll be a problem or not for a combat ship, but anyway, kind of interesting I suppose. So yeah, A2 sensors, A5 frameshift drive, and everything else is cargo basically, so there's no discovery scanner or anything like that. If you're running the full size shield, that's the most cargo you'll be able to fit. So, and again, that's why you don't really do kind of hybrid ships. You know, that's why you don't really try to do combat as well as trading, because you're basically compromising both. I think in this case, you've probably got a far better combat loadout than you do a trading loadout. But anyway, and yeah, you just got all the regular stuff as well. 10 dashboard things here as well. So anyway, let's head out. We'll go back to that combat zone, and we'll see how this goes. And once we're out of here as well, I will check the I'll check to see what the ship looks like. It's been so long since I've flown a Type 6, I can't actually remember what it looks like. I guess we'll find out. Can we just go the debug camera here? Yeah, we can. That works. Alright, that's pretty cool. Oh shit. I might have had my throttle still active. Alright, that was a little bit silly. Okay, let's go back to the debug camera. You gotta be careful with your debug camera. Alright. So yeah, standard Lakon design really. Nothing too interesting or out of the ordinary there. So we'll just kind of slowly pan around it. I think the cockpit might look a little bit different. I don't know, I don't think the debug camera was actually in the game when I last flew the Type 6. I don't think I ever actually got a good look at the outside of it. But yeah, it's that's pretty cool. I like the thruster design. Alright. That's cool. So let's head out and we'll go to the combat zone. Alright, so full speed with all pips to the engines is 220 meters per second. Give it a boost, you go up to 316, that topped out at. But you can't keep spamming it, the capacitor seems to recharge pretty quickly. So that's okay. But yeah, not very fast. Maneuverability, very slow, very sluggish to move around. It's going to be, plasma accelerators was probably a bad call for this ship. It's going to be very hard to keep them on target. I've left the no fire zone, so have I got my fire group set? Yes I do. Alright. So that's fine. Interesting, it can only fire one at a time. And it would help if I had full power to the weapons though, wouldn't it? Herpaderp. Alright. Still only fired one. Let's get a full charge. There we go. Okay. Yeah, plasma accelerator's not the best weapon for this ship, but I knew that when I picked them. Okay, let's pick our side. We'll just go for future again, nice and easy. Alright, we've got an eagle down here. That seems like a reasonable start. So with full pips to the weapons, I'm only moving at 130 meters per second. Obviously not very fast. Okay, eagle is hitting my shields. I didn't quite lose the outside ring, but still. Probably a little bit more shield than you'd want to lose with one attack pass from an eagle. And now I'm going to need to go full power to the engines just to keep up with this guy. This is not a maneuverable ship. And yeah, so my lasers are below the cockpit, so I'm going to need to be aware of that. They are taking him down, but because I've got all my power to my engines to keep up with him, I can't use my plasma accelerator.
Target destroyed.
And that's a limitation of the loadout as much as anything else. Let's find something big that we can shoot at. Federal assault ship, that'll do. Put full power to the weapons for this. He's on 87%. We'll have to get a bit closer before we can actually fire these off, otherwise they'll miss completely. Problem with getting closer is how slowly I'm moving. I'm surprised I'm not being targeted by more ships. I've got to be the biggest, most lumbering target there is here at the moment. At least that's the way it feels. Alright. You would have hoped for more damage, really. Still, it's doing a bit.
Warning, temperature critical.
There you go, got to worry about your temperature a little bit more with something like this. Okay, so we are taking some hits now as well. Taking a lot of hits actually, my shields are mostly down. What size shields are these? I actually can't remember. I think they're 5. Size 5? Yeah, they're A5. They went down pretty quickly for A5. I guess this ship doesn't have a fantastic shield modifier. Yeah, my initial feelings with this, I've got no idea why you would actually buy one of these for use as a combat ship. There's just so many better alternatives. I mean, I know it's not designed as a hardcore combat ship, but still, that was a nice hit. But yeah, it's just not very good for combat, I don't think. Oh, that was a miss.
Under attack.
I mean, I feel if you really wanted a oh, there go my shields, and my hull took a lot of damage there. 15% in about a second. But yeah, I feel if you need I'm just going to die here. If you need a multi-purpose ship for trading and combat, I think the Asp would probably be a little bit better. It may be more expensive, but didn't even get credit for the kill. Yeah, the Asp is maybe a little bit more expensive, but I don't know. I feel like if you use one of these for combat, you're just going to get yourself killed. Is my opinion of it. Let's see if we can pop off the oh no, he's boosting. So this is a Scout as well. This is the new Asp. Let's see, long range plasma accelerator. No, he's moved. Oh, he's coming in at me. I'm not paying that much attention at the moment. Yeah, I don't really like this ship, to be honest. That's all there is to say, I think. It doesn't feel like it needs to exist. I was trying to keep him lined up for a plasma accelerator shot, but it didn't exactly work. Hey, there we go. Took his shields down. I can't really follow up with anything. I can do that, I guess. No, missed. Oh, canopy damage. That won't end well. I'm down to 10%. I can't afford the rebuy, can't I? Yeah, I can. Alright. So we'll just die here, and then we'll go and test out the Asp Scout, which is what we're currently fighting against. So if you use one of these ships, you're going to have to be playing with your power settings a lot, like your engine power, weapons power, all the rest. Because at only one pip to the engines, it's not very maneuverable. How did that miss? Only one pip to the engines, it's got almost no maneuverability. It is a bit better with 2 pips, and then obviously 4 brings it up a lot more. But of course, once you're at that point, you can't really use your weapons to full effect. At least not with the loadout that I've gone with.
Shields online.
Now, unfortunately, he stopped shooting at me, so he hasn't managed to kill me yet. And my shields are back up. I don't want to fly back to the station.
Target shields offline.
So it looks like we might actually get the kill on this guy. He's slowing down a lot now. Let's say he's taken some damage. Okay, let's see if we can get off another cheeky plasma accelerator shot. No, that's a miss. Always the problem with the plasma accelerators when you rush them. Hey! Killing blow.
Target destroyed.
Alright. Somebody kill me, please. Do you want to kill me? No, you're friendly. Alright. I guess I'll have to do it myself.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Alright, so we'll head back to the station and we'll take a look at the Asp Scout. I'm not going to do a combat loadout on the Scout. I don't think that's worth doing. Instead, I'm going to try and load it up as an Explorer. Because a lot like the Diamondback Explorer variant of the Diamondback, I think that's what the Scout is designed for. I mean, obviously the whole Asp range is designed for exploration, I suppose, but anyway. So yeah, we'll see what its jump range is like and all the rest of it, and how much fuel it can carry. And yeah, after that, I guess that will be the end of this, because I won't be able to do the cutter or the Corvette. So let's go back to Dalton Gateway. Okay, so the Asp Scout, it's a bit more expensive in the beta than the Keelback. Costs 396,000 credits. You got 2 small hardpoints, 2 medium hardpoints, and then not very many internal compartments. So 1 size 2, 2 size 3s, 2 size 4s. So yeah, let's pick this up, and we'll just get rid of the Keelback. And I would imagine that the interior of this will look exactly the same as the Asp Explorer. I'd be very surprised if it was any different, given that this is just a variant, basically. And the same with the Type 6, it's been a long time since I've actually flown the Asp, but it seems pretty much the same, I think. Yeah. Alright. So let's load this up as an exploration ship. Okay, so here's a very quick exploration loadout that I put together. Nothing in the hard points, obviously, because there's really no point for exploration. I suppose maybe I should make this a little bit smaller, see if we can get a better jump range. Let's just go for, because we've got almost no power being used at the moment. We need a little bit bigger than a D2. Let's make it D3. Alright, anyway. So D3 power plant, D4 thrusters, A4 frameshift drive, D3, or basically D everything, until we get down to, I went for an A4 fuel scoop. It may be a little bit larger than is, strictly necessary, but it's always good being able to scoop pretty quickly. I've also gone for a fuel tank just for that extra jump range between fuel scoops and all the rest. I actually put in a fuel transfer limpet controller, thinking that, maybe you'd set up kind of like a fuel rat sort of system, so if you wanted to help somebody else out, you could have some fuel transferring drones. The problem is, the rest of my loadout, there's actually no room for a cargo bay, so I guess you would probably have to remove the fuel tank and replace that with a cargo bay. Alternately, you could keep the fuel tank where it is and get rid of this and put in like an automatic, one of those repair units or something like that. I never had to use one of those in my own exploration travels, at least I haven't yet, knock on wood. But whatever, some people do end up having to use them, so it's probably worth having. And then of course, Discovery Scanner and Detailed Surface Scanner. Now, this is not a fantastic jump range. Given the price of the ship and the loadout and everything else, I think my Diamondback Explorer has a better jump range than this. And I think apart from the jump range, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure that this is going to be a great exploration ship compared to what we've already got, but still, it's another alternative, and that's always nice, I suppose. I didn't bother with livery or anything like that. So let's like I said, instead of going out and doing some combat, we will jump out and like we'll launch and do some flying around and see how it feels and everything. What I'll do instead is I'm actually going to plot 1,000 light year route, because that's what you'll be doing a lot of as an explorer. So let's make sure I'm set up properly. Yes. Okay, let's go into realistic view. And let's see how far away can we get. How far is this? Oh, we're pretty close. Almost got it right first go. That's not right. Still too far. Oh, we're so close. 1011. Nearly. There we go, 999 light years. Okay. So we'll plot that. And we'll see how far it can get on a single, right before it runs out of fuel. This is a really clunky way of doing this. I don't know why I did it like this. I'm sure there would have been an easy way to find out. Alright, so we're still good here, I think. Yep, so alright. So that's 148 light years on a single tank of fuel, or 2 tanks of fuel, I suppose, depending on how you look at it. Again, that's not fantastic. I think my Diamondback Explorer can do it, can do about 300 light years before it needs to fill up. You're going to be spending a lot of time scooping if you take the Asp Scout by the looks of it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that I can really recommend this as a decent exploring ship, just based on its stats, like on paper, so to speak. But let's launch out and we'll see how it flies, and we'll take a look at the exterior and everything as well. Oh, we've got this really slow landing pad. Of course we do. Come on, there we go. Okay.
Engines engaged. Landing gear
I remember to put the landing gear in this time. Okay, so we go to the debug camera. So the Asp is always kind of a bit of a boring looking ship in my opinion. Especially compared to some of the other ones that we've got these days. But still. It seems to be panning really slowly around this one.
Always proceed directly to your allotted bay to avoid unnecessary delays and/or ship destruction.
Yep, so there we go. That's what it looks like. Again, I'm not actually sure if there's much exterior differences between this and a regular Asp Explorer. Was that a clipper or is that the cutter? I think that's the cutter. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. That's big too. I wish I could fly one. Stupid bugs. Alright. Let's get out of here. And my shields are apparently not up. I did put shields into this, didn't I? Didn't I? Did I not put any shields in this? Okay. Slight oversight. Really? I could have sworn I put shields in this. Okay. Right. Well, there you go. The no shield Asp Scout. I guess this fuel transfer limpet was probably a bad idea. I don't think this is the ship that you're going to be using for doing that. It's yeah, it just doesn't seem good enough, really. Anyway, oh god, don't do that. Why would you do that, Captain America? Okay. Thanks for that. That was real helpful. I'm very happy that you did that. Your ship looks pretty cool. Okay, let's radio. We'll respawn, and again, we'll try that again. And I'm actually going to see if I can fit shields in this. I have no idea why I didn't put any in there. That's so dumb. It would have saved me, like, it would have taken him a whole extra shot to kill me. If I had shields in this. Well, maybe. Okay, so I just put in a D3 shield generator. Not the best you could do by any means, but Yeah, it's better than nothing. So the fuel transfer limpets are gone. So that it would have had a slight impact on my jump range. I don't think it was a massive impact though. And yeah, now we are shielded. I mean, you don't really need shields in exploration, except like the only time you really need it is when you're in civilized space. Once you're out in the galaxy, shields don't really help. But
Shields online.
yeah, it's when you're in civilized space you have people and NPCs and stuff that you got to worry about.
Landing gear.
So that's why shields are useful for exploration. But yeah, so again, we'll get out of here and we'll just test the maneuverability a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to be testing firepower or anything like that because it doesn't have any weapons in it. Oh, he's coming straight at me. Oh, no, I was actually going straight at the back of him. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so full pips to the engines. 200 and... is it going to hit 230? Yes, it is. 230 meters per second. Give it a boost. Up to 313. So that's not too bad. Maneuverability. Immediately, it's far more maneuverable than the Keelback. I think, though, a beached whale is probably more maneuverable than the Keelback. But I guess that was the idea of this ship, is that the less weight kind of made it more maneuverable than the regular Asp Explorer. So yeah, it seems to go around pretty well. Let's give it a bit more power to the weapons. Say you're using full power to the weapons, how does it maneuver? Yeah, that's not bad. You'd struggle to keep up with faster ships, but you'd be able to maintain a lock on some of the slower stuff. So yeah, that's not too bad. So you might find this is a slightly better low-end combat ship. I'm not going to go back and do a combat loadout or anything right now because I've already been recording for ages. As an exploration ship, I would struggle to recommend this. I think that there is far better alternatives out there, especially for the credits. I think you could do better, but yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say. But yeah, so those are the three ships. So of the three of them, I would definitely say the Viper Mark IV is probably the best one, at least. Oh, was that Captain America again? God damn it, Captain America, what did I do to you? It's actually Captain America. So let's see if I can go for a ram. Come on. Come on. Oh, he hit me. Oh, my corpse? Yes, my corpse rammed him. That's a win. I'm taking that as a win. I rammed him while I was already dead. Whew. Mission accomplished. Alright, thank you, Captain America. But yeah, so those are the new ships, or at least some of them. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I think the Viper Mark IV is probably the best one in terms of doing what it's designed to do. The Keelback, the idea of a hybrid combat ship and trader at the same time doesn't really work for me, and I don't think the ship really likes it either. I think that's just a trading ship, really. It might be one that can carry a few weapons, but you wouldn't want to use it in a fight. At least I wouldn't. As for the Asp Scout, well, I've already spoken about that a bit. So yeah, hopefully this bug with the stored ships will be fixed pretty quickly, and I'll be able to jump into the Cutter and the Clipper. I really am looking forward to testing those ships, because those are kind of two more, I want to say they're a little bit more unique. The rest of these ships are just basic variants of stuff that we've already got. So hopefully those two ships will actually bring something a bit different to the table, because I'm not sure that any of these three that I tested today are actually doing that. They all feel like they're a bit safe. There's not a whole lot, different about them. And that's a complaint that I've seen leveled at a lot of these new ships, is that there's very little imagination being used in them, I think. They're all kind of variants of each other. And that's fine. I mean, plenty of space games have variants of all the different sorts of ships, so I don't have a problem with that, but it's nice to see something, completely new and out of left field every now and then, at least in my opinion. But yeah, so as I said, hopefully this bug will get fixed up pretty quickly and I'll be able to test those other two new ships. But until then, I think I'm going to end this one here. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty long video. So yeah, until next time, I've been Vornskyr. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.